Hello, Gemini. This is Ashley. We're going to get into your reading for the week of August 22nd, which is also the week of the full moon in Aquarius. We're going to look at past, present, and future just to get an idea of where you are and where you're going. And we'll do a 9-card spread followed by some clarification. Now, I do recommend you watch the full moon collective reading where I'll go through the actual transits that are influencing this full moon. And then you can also check your sun, moon, rising, and Venus signs for some additional messages if this doesn't resonate with you. And let's get started. Gemini, week of August 22nd. And please remember to hit that like button, subscribe. Let's see. Getting the Magician, 4 of Pentacles, and the 5 of Pentacles, the 7 of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles, and the 6 of Pentacles, the 8 of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Knight of Swords. Interesting. Okay, so then we have the 5 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So initially, kind of what I'm seeing here, and we'll definitely go in and get some more detail for both love and career. But initially what I'm seeing here is that in the past, there's kind of been this energy of kind of just accepting things as they are, almost. Like wanting to manifest perhaps a more stable, prosperous situation, but also kind of being in this energy of not really knowing what's coming, and kind of being okay with just waiting to see how things play out. And almost feeling like there's a turn of events that takes place that kind of leads to a bit of a detour here. And I almost see you kind of questioning that turn of events, like why did this happen? Why didn't it work out? Kind of energy. Now, we do have 5 cards of Pentacles on the table, so this could be a work situation, but we'll just kind of see how it plays out. So in the past position, we have the Fates. So kind of like the Fates is almost kind of accepting either positive or negative karma in the past, like kind of understanding that there's certain things that are outside of your control, and that the things that are outside of your control are going to play out however they're meant to play out. So that's kind of part of why I have that feeling about, it's like with the Magician, the 7 of Cups, and the 8 of Pentacles, it's like you're wanting to manifest something beneficial for yourself, or you were, because this is the past position, but also not really knowing, what's coming, how it's going to play out. maybe kind of being in this place of not really sure where to put the work in because things are kind of in this like, almost like this feeling of upheaval, kind of waiting and seeing kind of energy. Let's get some more detail here. Why do we have the Magician? We have the Seven of Wands and the Five of Pentacles. For the Seven of Cups, yeah, we have the Ace of Pentacles and the Two of Wands. And then for the Eight of Pentacles, we have the Four of Cups and the Nine of Cups. All right, so in the past, it does feel like there may have been some sort of situation. Now, I just saw the Two of Cups and the Six of Cups, so I'll apply this to both love and career. Okay, so let's start with career. In the past, it looks like maybe you've been in a position or you've been working really hard and you still weren't making a lot of money. And you wanted to manifest something that was better, was more prosperous. With this Eight of Pentacles, you wanted to move and increase your coins, right? But maybe you were in this space of really trying to decide what kind of fit you, like what your new destiny should be. And so kind of like wanting the expansion, but being in this decision-making process, just kind of like maybe some daydreaming, trying to understand what your soul calling is. And then we also have the Eight of Pentacles, the Four of Cups, and the Nine of Cups. And I think it's because not only were you perhaps strapped for cash, but I think what you were working or what you were doing in the past for work wasn't really all that emotionally fulfilling, and you wanted something that like really ignited your passion, like a dream come true. Like you wanted your dream job. It's just there wasn't a whole lot of certainty about what that should be. And you were kind of like in this space of like just this wait and see, thinking about it, you know, what is your destiny? With that Fates card, right? For love, I do feel like perhaps you dealt with someone in the past that was a little bit manipulative. You experienced a rejection. And I do feel like there was a lot of deception as well. Like it was like they were confusing you on purpose. And I don't feel like you were wanting to work on this anymore because it was emotionally unfulfilling for you. It could have been that this person had a lot of options and they weren't choosing you as their person. Perhaps they didn't want to commit. Perhaps they just wanted to date and continue to, you know, keep their options open. And that wasn't what you wanted. You wanted something stable, something that would become permanent. So let's look at the present moment. We have the Fire Dragon. So this speaks to solar plexus activation, kind of inner power and courage. So in the present moment, we have the Four of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Wheel of Fortune. Perhaps holding on to something out of maybe some fear that things couldn't improve for you. Let's get some more detail on this. Like, almost like an internal doubt that things could get better. All right, let's see. Four of Pentacles, we're getting the King of Pentacles. I'll put that there. And the Three of Swords. The Knight of Pentacles. We're getting the Knight of Swords. And the Ten of Wands. And with the Wheel of Fortune, we're getting the Page of Cups and the Ten of Swords. Okay, so for career, it does feel like perhaps you have been in a position that you have found unsatisfying because it's stable. I mean, it might not pay as much as you want it to, but at least it pays, is kind of the feeling I'm getting. But something about it is just really irking you. I feel like you've probably dealt with some drama in the workplace. There might not be room for growth at this workplace, and I feel like you probably also had some run-ins with a boss that have been painful. And I do feel like the movement that you have been seeing has been so slow, and perhaps you've even communicated this to a boss, like, I want a promotion, I want to make more money, what do I need to do? And you're just not getting the offers, the opportunities, or the added responsibility that you've been seeking. And that's been quite burdensome for you. And I think also perhaps that has been part of what has led to an ending here. Like, you've decided to walk away from this particular position in search of something better for yourself. And there could have also been, quite a bit of betrayal kind of energy in the workplace. Now, currently, if this is a love situation, I do feel like this person from the past that maybe wasn't putting in the work and was leaving you feeling like emotionally unsatisfied, kind of making you an option. It could have been a long-term commitment that somehow became more of an open relationship. It's like this was a permanent relationship, and when you met with problems, you guys decided to sort of maybe go back to dating, and that's been really painful for you and felt like a rejection. And I think there was some heartbreak there. If that is not your story, I do feel like you have been wanting something permanent and this person is not willing to give it to you. And even though it's been heartbreaking, I feel like you've kind of held on to this, like almost with hopes that it would change. But the movement here has been so slow with this Knight of Pentacles, it almost feels like stagnant. Like there's no movement at all. And it almost feels like that's slowly become like such a burden to you that there's been no change. That it's It's almost like a battle between the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles here, because you want some speed. You want this to speed up and do something or end it, right? Because it's become such a problem. Now, I do feel like there is a change that's happening here, but I think it's because you or this other person decides to just end this relationship completely. Even potentially with like an apology that came in here, like, hey, this is clearly not working. Let's just go our separate ways. And I think because there's been hopes that it would eventually turn into something more permanent, even though it's been a burden waiting for this person to like make up their mind. Are you going to choose me? Are you going to choose someone else? Are you just going to keep playing the field? Even though that's been a burden, I think that potentially the shift was also painful. Like when they finally come forward and say, okay, let's end this then, because I'm not ready to commit, that was also hurtful. And so altogether, I just kind of feel like this whole situation has been pretty toxic, and has just left you waiting in the wings, like, are they going to decide? So let's see what's coming in the future. We do have the Coyote Spirit, and the Coyote, in this particular oracle deck, the Mystical Shaman, is referred to as the Sacred Trickster. Because even though there can be turns of events that seem to lead you off path, in some form or fashion, they are teaching you a lesson that you need in order to progress forward. And so it could be that this Wheel of Fortune here, this change in events that finally happened, felt bad because of this Ten of Swords. It wasn't the positive thing that you thought was coming. Instead, it ended up being a rejection. Like a full-out rejection with this Five of Pentacles. But what the Coyote Spirit is trying to show you is that even though there's been this change in your fate, so to speak, with that Fates card, it's actually of benefit. It's going to teach you something. But I almost feel like too, with this Knight of Swords, he's pointing here towards the Wheel of Fortune. And it is almost like you want to rush back into this, or the person that you've left behind or wanted to end it is wanting to rush back. Let's get some detail here. Alright, Five of Pentacles. I'm getting the Moon. So that's been coming up a lot in this position because of the full moon, I feel. And the Fool. So unknowingly, this rejection is a positive thing. So if you've heard the saying, rejections are Spirit's way of kind of detouring us away from something that wasn't for our highest good. Because with this Fool coming in, it's almost like you don't realize that this is setting you on a new path. So the rejection is the blessing in disguise. Let's see. Six of Pentacles. Getting the Strength. Yep. And the Six of Swords. So it's teaching you, whether this is a work situation or a love situation, this detour, this change of events is teaching you to demand your worth. And if you can't get your worth, you're going to leave. It's giving you the courage to stand up for yourself and recognize that you are worth all of the pentacles. You shouldn't be settling for this sort of poor poverty mindset when it comes to work and love, you should be getting all the pentacles or moving on. Let's see what this Knight of Swords is doing here. We have the Sun and the Temperance. So I do feel like you're moving towards happiness, healing, and kind of integrating those lessons that you are coming into in the future position. But one thing I would warn about here, because this Knight of Swords in this deck points this direction backwards into what is now the present moment, it could I'm kind of getting that some of you may actually reflect back on this, a couple of things. Reflect back on this relationship or job in the past with almost like rose-colored glasses. So like watch out for that, because we can tend to put things on a pedestal when we're not in the thick of them, right? We kind of look back and we see all the good things rather than just how bad we felt at the time. So keep that in mind. But I think what's also coming through with this is that you're also looking to this ending, this change of events that happened, this betrayal, this rejection, basically, as the positive. So you're starting to see how it was a sacred lesson, even though it hurt for it to happen. It's turning into a wonderful new beginning with this Fool and the Sun here. So I think that it's headed in a positive direction. I think that's really good. I would just avoid looking back to the past. And look, we've got the 8 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. So I think once this happens, it's going to move quickly. With the Knight of Swords, 6 of Swords, the 8 of Wands, there'll finally be this movement that you've been waiting for. Only it might not be with this past person. It might not be with this past job. But ultimately, the rejection is the blessing. And I think that that is what you are coming to find out as we go into the full moon week. So I hope that was helpful. Definitely check out the collective reading that I'll be posting. It'll kind of go more into the alignments along with some oracle and tarot messages to help guide us. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.